Hey, what's up? My name is Daniela and welcome to a new video. So I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't uploaded a video for almost a year on this channel, and I won't really go into the reasons why that was the case. But while I wasn't active on BookTube, I was still watching a lot of BookTube, and I was thinking about BookTube a lot, especially about what I could do differently going forward. And one of the things was how to make filming more sustainable for me, because I haven't been able to upload consistently since I started. It was always a huge issue. So for starters, I decided that I would like to be more comfortable while filming. So this is why I'm sitting in my IKEA chair and I have my tea. Because while I love YouTube and making videos, it has always been something that took a lot of energy from me. And I barely have the mental and physical energy to film. So I just want to make it easier for myself. So we'll see how it goes. Also, this specific background is temporary because I will be reorganizing my bookshelves and possibly moving my books to the bedroom. So yeah, here we are. So in this video I would like to talk about my physical TBR. Recently I've been really working on reducing my physical TBR. I like it to be small to begin with, but yeah, I've been making some conscious effort. And I also plan to make an unhaul soon, so that's something fun to look forward to, at least for me. For the past few years I have had a goal to read or unhaul all of the books I got during the previous year. So in this case it would be books from 2020. I'm a bit behind on this goal from last year, so there are still a couple of books I'm finishing that I got in 2019. But yeah, for this year I would like to get basically almost everything done that I got previously, because I barely got any physical books this year. So the amount is pretty manageable, I'd say. But first, let me start with books I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading quite a few books, more than I would like to, but they're also different genres. So it's mostly fine, but I'm really looking forward to finishing all of these. And the first book I'm reading right now is Dreadless by Matt Haig. So I have previously read 2 non-fiction books by Matt Haig about mental health, and then last month I read The Humans, which I really enjoyed. This is basically a contemporary but about a family of vampires. So it's kind of sci-fi, but it's more about the relationships in the family and stuff like that. So kind of more in the contemporary genre with some paranormal elements. So yeah, we follow a family of vampires that previously did the vampire thing, but now they're trying to live as a normal British family. But the kids don't know that they are vampires, and obviously one day they kind of find out and they get into some problems. So there's some drama happening in the small town. I'm on page 168 and I'm not really enjoying it as much as I was enjoying The Humans, but I guess I will finish it, although I was spoiled on Goodreads because I just looked casually at some reviews, and a review that wasn't marked as spoilers or anything. I was reading it and suddenly it said spoilers, and the sentence continued with the spoiler, and I'm a fast reader, so before my brain registered the spoiler I just kind of saw what's gonna happen. But I guess it doesn't matter because yeah, as I said, it's more of a contemporary, so the plot twists probably aren't the most important thing in this book. The second book I'm currently reading is Emma by Jane Austen. So this has been on my TBR for years and years. I've been wanting to read all of Jane Austen novels for the longest time, and this year it's finally happening. I'm only on page 34 in this book, and so far I'm liking it, although the main character is not what I'm used to with Jane Austen. I previously read Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and persuasion, and yeah, this just seems already kind of different. Not saying it in a bad way, we'll see. Actually, it's kind of refreshing to see a character, a female character who has like a lot of agency, although I don't think she's supposed to be very likable. Another book on my currently reading list is The Highly Sensitive Person by Elaine and Aaron. So this is another book I've been wanting to read for a long time. I got it in 2019 and I finally started it, but it's a really slow read for me. The author says that reading this book might be an emotional experience for someone who is an HSP, and yeah, it has been. And I've been also annotating it, so yeah, I'm making my way through it very slowly, but it's been really interesting, and yeah, I predict that it's gonna be quite valuable. And the last physical book I'm currently reading, because I won't be going into ebooks and audiobooks, is Stuff I've Been Feeling Lately by Alicia Cook. So this is a poetry collection which I started like probably months ago, and it's not that I don't like it, but it's that like I haven't been in the mental space for it. Like the poems at the beginning, like a lot of them were really sad and depressing, so yeah, I kind of haven't felt like picking it much, but I would like to finish it. Speaking of Matt Haig, I have another book of his on my TBR, and that's The Midnight Library. So ever since I heard about this book, I was really intrigued by it, although I barely know what it's about. Like, yeah, I don't know what it is about. Like, is it a contemporary or like some magic elements? There's a library, everyone has been raving about it. And since Matt Haig is an author I have read from and liked his books, and I also like, you know, his Twitter presence and stuff, it is kind of enough for me. And I like going into books not knowing much. So yeah, still very intrigued. I got it for Christmas, so it's been a while, but I'm just slowly getting through all of his books, I guess. Next, I have A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. So this is book 2 in the Carl series, I think Carl's. And yeah, the first book is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which I read last year and really liked it. So I also got this for Christmas and I haven't read it yet. But yeah, it's kind of new adult, I guess, or like adult with a young protagonist sci-fi book about statues that start to appear at different places in the world. And our main character, Our main character, April May, and her friend film the appearance of the first statue, and they go viral. So there are all those sci-fi elements, but it's also a lot about social media and sudden fame and April being a bisexual mess and good stuff like that. The first book ended on kind of a cliffhanger, so I'm intrigued how the story will continue. But I think I will actually reread the first book, although I only read it last fall, because I really liked it, and while reading it I was thinking how it would be good to reread it, maybe annotate it, and just refresh my memories about the world and stuff. Next on my TBR is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Everesto. So I got this book last year for my birthday, which was in July, and it was a gift from Mary Among Stories. So thank you so much, Mary. I promise I will read it probably very soon. So on the back it says it's a novel, but it's also 12 different stories about Black women in Britain, and apparently their stories intertwine at some point. I think it's queer and I've heard amazing things about it. So yeah, I've been intrigued by it, but also a bit intimidated. But yeah, I would like to read this very soon, possibly in June. The Body by Bill Bryson, aka A Guide for Occupants. So this is a non-fiction book about our bodies. I don't think I need to say more about it. I also got this for Christmas, and it's just one of the books that sound really intriguing, but they are quite hard to actually pick up. Then we have Loveless by Alice Oseman. This is a young adult contemporary about a girl named Georgia who is starting university, and she is discovering her identity. So she's asexual, aromantic, and yeah, she's just dealing with all of the teenage situations, I guess. We also have 2 books by Brandon Sanderson, so The Value of Ascension and The Hero of Ages. So these are books 2 and 3 in the Misborn trilogy series. I've read The Final Empire in 2019, I guess. It was one of my favorite books of that year, but like at this moment I'm not super intrigued to continue with the series, but also I want to, like, I loved the first book, I already own these, so I kind of think that I'm gonna reread The Final Empire, then continue with the series, and then possibly on hold these because like there are breaks. At this moment I don't foresee myself trying another fantasy series by Brandon Sanderson, but things might change. Another fantasy book I have is In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire. So this is book 4 in the Wayward Children series. I have read books 1 and 2 twice already. Yeah, this is book 4. I had books 3 and 4 on my wish list, and someone from my real life got book 4 for me. Yeah, I've been meaning to read book 3, but also like the hardcovers are really expensive, so I haven't bought it. I might just listen to the audiobook, although I really love the cover of the book 3, so you can see my dilemma. This is a young adult fantasy series about kids/teenagers who go into worlds that are specifically catered to them. And then they return to our world and they have difficulty coping. So there's a special school where these children are under the supervision of another person who also went to a different world. The first book was set in the school, and then in the next books we are going into the individual worlds. This series is really whimsical and I really like the world building. There's a whole system to it, which is always nice. I'm actually not sure that I'm interested in finishing the whole series, because I saw that like the last book that's about to come out is like about some like drowned girls. So there are some elements that are quite like dark, and I don't know if I'm like truly into it, because I also like am not interested in other books by Seanan McGuire, especially the ones that she writes under her pseudonym that tend to be darker from what I've gathered. I already have this, so it would be fine to finish at least up to book 4 and then see. And the last book on my physical TBR is What Alice Forgot by Liane Moriarty. So Liane Moriarty is one of my favorite authors. I have read, I think, 6 books by her, and I have a couple more left. She also is coming with new books, so that's great. I read another book by her last month, so I might wait a bit till I read this one. This is the last one by her I own, but we'll see, because like I think that her books are pretty good to read during the summer, because they are really easy to read and the characters are usually fun to read about. So we'll see. My reading plans are a mystery to me, to be honest. So that's my whole physical TBR. Let me know if you read any of these or if they are also on your TBR. Also, if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for sticking around, even though I haven't been uploading. I really appreciate it. And if you're new, hi, welcome, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Bye!